Like, it's kind of cool because like you can see like his fingers, they're like all long, and he's got these long nails, and he looks a little decrepit. But then he has this hair; it literally makes him look like a heart. Like his face just looks like a heart, and then he has this long ass braid down his back. It's a little bit goofy.
Welcome to the Opening Kill podcast.
Before we begin, a quick warning. Opening Kill is a horror podcast that contains adult language, disturbing themes, and graphic descriptions of violent acts, especially the kills featured in each film. We also dive deep into plot details and character arcs. So if you haven't seen the movie we're covering, expect full spoilers ahead. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
Opening Kill, the horror podcast that slices deep into the genre we love. We're talking slashers, supernatural nightmares, creature features, and everything in between. Every episode, we break down a different horror film. From its killer cold open to its blood-soaked finale, we track the body count, analyze the scares, and give credit where it's gruesomely due. From iconic franchises to hidden gems, you'll find them all here. Hosted by filmmaker and horror scholar Brian O'Connor and Michael Duran, lifelong genre fan and screen scene specialist. So sharpen your knives, turn off the lights, and let's get into it. This is Opening Kill.
And welcome to episode 56 of Opening Kill, Bram Stoker's Dracula. My name is Brian O'Connor, as always, and my incredible co-hosting partner in crime, Michael Duran.
That is me. I am here as well. I'm excited to talk about this one. You've seen anything good in the meantime?
Well, I saw something.
Okay.
I will say that. It's a movie
Maybe not
called,
good.
it was meh. I mean, it was kind of disappointing. I was hoping that it would be better. It was a movie called Snow Falls. Came out in 2023. And basically after a winter storm strands 5 friends in a remote cabin with no power and little food, disorientation slowly claims their sanity as each of them succumbs to a fear that the snow itself may be contaminated or somehow evil. Victoria Marolis, Anna Grace Barlow, John Birchtold, James Gaisford, and Colton Tran are in this. And it was good. It took a while to really get going, but then once it did get going, they were obviously under the influence of something here, of some evil force, and it was making them do things that maybe they wouldn't normally do. And it got old after a while because they were just doing some really stupid things to themselves, and pretty much everybody dies in the end except for one girl. And yeah, it was interesting. I didn't dislike it, but it also wasn't quite what I was hoping for. So yeah.
So the snow was evil?
The snow was evil. Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
And
I could get down if it was an evil snowman. I can't get down with just the weather itself being evil.
right.
I think that would be hard for me to buy in. I think it has to be a specific thing that's causing an entity or so that's causing this stuff. Otherwise, I'm like, it's the snow. The snow is evil. Okay, that's weak for me. But otherwise, I mean, it kind of sounds interesting.
It was an interesting, what I thought interesting idea. I was just hoping for a little bit more, but it
That's
got a
fair.
little bit silly in places. I mean, there were some
Yeah.
cool kills, but it was still kind of got off the rails a little bit for me.
That's fair. That's fair. I saw a couple things. I saw the Bone Temple 28 years later. I really, really liked this one.
Okay.
I like it much more than it. Actually, I think it is my favorite 28 days, weeks, years like of that franchise. The Bone Temple is my favorite one. I think the characters are just like so engaging, especially the villain, Jimmy. He's just insane and played so well. Like the Jack O'Connell O'Connor.
Mhm.
He's the guy from Sinners who plays the lead vampire in that. He
Okay.
is fantastic in this. Just all the performances. Oh my God. Like I haven't stopped thinking about it since I saw it in theaters, and yeah, I recommend watching all of them just to get to this one because it's that good. I think it's definitely one of my favorites of the year. It's going to be tough to beat. So definitely enjoyed it. Check that one out. And then one that was just like, it was fine was Dangerous Animals. It was that shark attack serial killer movie.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's definitely fun. Especially Jai Courtney. He's great as the killer. He's just like he eats up every single scene that he's in. The rest, like there is a surprising, like there's barely any sharks in this, and they kind of sold it as they were kind of like the star of the show. They are definitely not the star of the show. So if you kind of have that expectation weathered a little bit, I think you'll like it a lot more than I did.
Okay.
It's still worth checking out, just for the performances and how zany Jai Courtney is as the killer, but surprised by the lack of sharks, that's for sure.
Interesting. I think,
Yeah.
was that one of my scare previews from last year maybe or something? It sounds
It
familiar.
was
but
one of ours. I know
Okay.
it was a scare preview at some point. I don't remember
Okay.
whose, but yeah.
uh,
I mean, it's still worth checking out, but
sure.
just realize going in, sharks not going to play as much of a part as they probably should.
When that's supposed to be like the main premise of it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, that's unfortunate, but it happens.
It does, yeah. Marketing, that's why it's so important.
Well, I would say that the movie we're about to tell you about is probably, I don't know, would you say better or worse than the non-shark movie, Michael?
I mean, that's definitely better. Dracula, this one is just so unique and cool in so many different ways. Like
Right.
it's tough to be as far as being better than Dracula, but
Right.
so yeah, Dangerous Animals failed that test, unfortunately.
Dangerous Animals failed the Michael Duran test.
Of coolness compared to Dracula.
Well, it is Bram Stoker's Dracula from 1992, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, written by James V. Hart, who also wrote 94's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's based on Dracula by Bram Stoker, obviously. In theaters November 13th, 1992, runs 128 minutes. So it's a good lengthy movie to be sure. But in my opinion, worth it. Rated R. And it was filmed entirely in Los Angeles at the studios and surrounding areas. The studio basically did not want him going overseas on location because they were a little bit concerned about budget. And so that's why they kept it in LA. This is just a stacked cast. I could go through all of it, but I'll give you the highlights. Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, and I'll mention Keanu Reeves, not really an all-star in this cast out of everybody, but he was there, you know.
One of the biggest stars, but is he a star in it?
Yeah,
You know,
we could debate that. We wouldn't even have to debate
Yeah.
that. I think you and I agree on that.
yeah.
A pretty hefty budget. They made it for $40 million. Thank God.
I
It
bet.
turned around $216 million and saved Francis Ford Coppola's studio, which was facing bankruptcy at the time. So this movie bailed it out. Tagline, love never dies. And this is incredible. It won over 24 awards, including Academy Awards for Best Costume Design, Best Effects, Sound Effects Editing, and Best Makeup. So, I mean, the list of awards, you can go on and on and on. It's pretty impressive what this movie did.
Did it win Best Special Effects, or was that audio effects
No.
that it won?
It
Okay.
won editing. So
Okay.
best
Okay.
costume design, best effects, and then the subcategory sound effects editing. So that's what it was. Sound
Okay.
effects editing.
Okay. Because I was I mean, I think it deserves an effects. It's just an interesting case because they didn't use a computer. So it's like
Right.
the effects in it are stellar.
Oh
like
my gosh.
crazy, like old school, like stage effects that
Yeah.
still managed to work. So
Mhm.
that makes sense though, because that would have been an interesting win if they kind of went that way with this specific movie. Even though I think
Absolutely.
you could make the argument that it deserves it.
Yep. I agree with you 100% there. So in a nutshell, centuries-old vampire Count Dracula comes to England to seduce his barrister Jonathan Harker's fiancée, Mina Murray, and then just wreak havoc in the foreign land. So, yeah, I remember seeing this. I don't remember seeing it in theaters, but I do remember watching it on VHS when it came out in the early 90s and just being like, wow, this movie is something else.
Yeah, I watched it for the first time a couple years ago. I just finished reading the book, and then I was like, well, now I have to check this movie out. I mean, I had seen things from it, like just the look of Dracula had been parodied, I think, in like The Simpsons or something, because it's a
Right.
very unique look. So like I had known of the movie, but when
Mhm.
I actually sat down and watched it, I was like, damn, this thing is cool as hell. I don't know why I'd never like seen it up to this point. It's such a must see if you love just like if you love theater. I think it has so many cool theater effects that if you're a fan of like stage shows, this movie uses some of those techniques so well that it makes it just so much fun to watch.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful movie, I think is a good word for it.
absolutely. It's gorgeously shot, and most of the effects are practical. There's only one thing in here they did optics on, and we'll cover that here in a little bit. It starts in 1462. Prince Vlad Dracula, played by Gary Oldman, goes into battle against invading Turks. Right out of the gate, we get kind of a group opening kill.
The opening kill.
Yeah. A
Now,
whole entire army.
I counted 5 that we actually saw actually being killed on screen. And then
Right.
at the very end of the scene, you see, I don't know how many are like, they're all like been impaled and are on these giant pikes. I mean,
Right.
bodies and bodies and bodies. There was a really cool kill in here, though, and it's the last one you see. It's where I don't think it was Dracula, but one of his men had one of those long pikes and just stabbed it through one of the enemy soldiers and then put the pike up and the body slid down that pike. I thought that was pretty cool, but the whole scene is set against this red sunset backdrop.
Yeah.
Just incredible cinematography.
And it's kind of all like shadow work almost, where it's like a shadow puppet play, kind of, where you just see this stuff. And you see like Vlad's armor in this opening scene is so cool. It's like, it looks like he's been skinned. And so like all his muscles are exposed. That's
Mhm.
kind of what the armor looks like. And it has this awesome like wolf-esque mask to it. So that silhouette of that armor and him just laying waste to these armies is just so cool to see.
It really
So
is.
for that alone, even though these are not graphic deaths, these are very much kind of shadows of very graphic deaths.
Mhm.
I'm still gonna give them butcher knives because the scene itself is just so damn cool.
Butcher knife for me too. Absolutely. So Dracula returns home and to discover that his beloved wife, Elizabeta, played by Winona Ryder, has taken her own life. Turks had shot an arrow into his castle with a note attached, falsely telling her that he had been killed in battle. And so she
Yep.
jumps from the tower of the castle into the river below. And I don't know how high up the tower was, but damn, it was quite the fall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think you can survive that fall again. Like just this, how they filmed this scene is insane. Like for a suicide, it is gorgeous. Uh,
But it is. I mean, yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
you'll-
Yeah.
you won't see a better looking suicide than this movie.
God.
But yeah, what dastardly little tactics the Turks had to go to defeat this army. They're like, well, Vlad's too tough, so let's just fake his death to his wife and
Ugh,
have her grief take him down. Like,
right.
what cowards.
Now, I
Underhanded
noticed.
tactics for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, who does that, right? But I did notice something that I have never noticed before. So the camera is shooting across because his people have recovered her body and brought it back up to, this room in the castle. And the camera is behind her. You can see her laying there, and he comes through the door, a wreck. If you watch, you can see Winona Ryder's eye twitching. No one else caught it, but it's prominent, and I can't believe I didn't see it before. But it's a continuity thing that I went, oh my goodness, they should have reshot that real quick with her not like twitching her eye, because it was kind of weird. I mean, seriously, she's been dead this isn't like one of those things when you die and you still, your nerves kind of do weird things. She's been dead a bit. There is no reason at all that any part of her should be moving. So I did catch that this time, and it was like, oh, whoa. Okay.
I'm going to have to watch out for that. I did not see the twitching of the eyes. So
I've never
I'm
seen
gonna have
it
to
before.
pay attention to that now.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, that's definitely a mistake.
A priest who's there informs Vlad that because she committed suicide, her soul is damned. He gets a little pissed. This is a cool scene
not
here.
what you say to someone. The priests are fucking assholes, and they're just like, yeah, God real hates suicide, so she's just gonna burn in hell. Sorry about that, pal. Like, you okay with that? Especially when this guy and this is something that's really cool about this movie. They really humanize Dracula, where they're like this was like a dude of God, like he was on these conquests for God, and then he gets home and he's being told, well, your wife is now gonna burn in hell forever. This person you love more than anyone else, and that makes him just snap. And he denounces God right then and there. He basically sells his soul to Satan, stabs the cross, kills the priests, and the cross then starts to bleed. And that's when he kind of takes this oath of darkness and he drinks that blood pouring from the cross. And that's what kind of turns him into Dracula. But I think it's just such a cool scene because you see this man just break in real time. And everything he's ever loved just gone. And even though he turns into truly an evil person who's not really redeemable, you see what originally caused it was not evil, was not wanting to conquer things, was just a man in that moment broken.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So we jump a little bit here, like centuries. And now we're in the year 1897. We meet Renfield, who is played by Tom Waits, who is just fucking fantastic in this role. And he's now in an insane asylum. He's talking to himself and, eating flies, by the way, too.
Right.
So,
I mean, he thinks he can suck up their life force if he eats them. So he's all about that bug life now.
Yes. And then we cut and we meet young solicitor Jonathan Harker, Keanu Reeves' character. And we find out that he has now been assigned to go to Transylvania to assist Count Dracula with purchasing property in London, which is what Renfield had been assigned to do before. But he returned to London all crazy and was committed to this insane asylum.
Right. So that's always a good feeling. You're like, hey, when this job that drove this dude insane, can you just go ahead and do that? That's not an issue, right?
No, you'll be fine with that. You can do that.
Yeah. And he's like, sure, I guess.
So there's some beautiful cinematography all throughout this film. This is one of my favorites right here, sections where I just thought they outdid themselves. So Jonathan Harker's train ride to Transylvania is just brilliantly shot. And a lot of this section of the movie represents, I think, the novel pretty well, with the diary entries being read aloud and everything. But just the way the effects that they did, and these are in-camera effects. These were not optical effects. And so they were able to make this look so good, not relying on, CGI or anything like that. Again, early 90s, they were doing most of their stuff here. They were just doing practicals, and it just looked so good.
Yeah, because you see Dracula's eyes in the shot, even though he's not there, and it's just so cool looking. I think this is one of the coolest little like setup sections where he's on his way there, reading the diary entries, reading the letters from the Count Dracula, and just all of it overlaying perfectly. Definitely really cool.
He boards a carriage to take him the rest of the way to Transylvania, and then he's dropped off in the middle of nowhere. And he's been riding with these gypsies, and one of them gives him a crucifix on his way out of the carriage. And then another one of them slams the carriage door and just leaves him there as wolves start to surround the area, and they're singing their song.
Yep. I think they set up how uneasy the rest of like the towns and things around Transylvania are. Like everyone's clearly spooked, and Jonathan, he feels it as well. As soon as he gets there, they're like, there's something here that is just makes you feel like down and icky and scared. And so yeah, when she hands him that cross, is like, this good luck, pal, like this is the only thing that can maybe help you. And then the other person just slamming the door, that you're like, not a position I would want to be in if I was old Jonathan Harker. And especially when the new carriage arrives to pick him up, you're like, oh, fuck this.
I know. I think the novel, it definitely goes into more in depth with the whole train ride and the carriage ride, and you get even more details. I think the movie does just fine. You can't pack this entire novel into the movie, so you have to cut something, but it's just a cool scene. But then the new carriage shows up, and it's like, things are getting real now.
Yeah, because like this carriage driver he's in like this suit of armor, and he has like these fingers that like look like shadows almost because they just get long, and it's a very weird, trippy situation to be in. Plus, there's this random blue fire that
right. And this is what the Dracula story is so well known for, and this is the only optical effect in the whole movie. This blue fire effect they did do with computers, but everything else is done in camera. So, so the story is that these people who are riding along at night, if they see the blue fire, it must mean that there's treasure buried. So they go out and they mark that area at night, and then where they see the blue flame, and then they come back during the day to try and dig up the treasure. And that's kind of what the blue flame is supposed to represent.
Yeah, it's an interesting effect. I kind of like the effect because even though it is done digitally, it looks like it's not, like they kind of made it look a little not bad, but not like clean like a digital effect would. So so they kind of still give you that feel to the digital effect that is used. So but very weird, this blue flame stuff. And Jonathan's just kind of trying to go along with the flow. He's definitely weirded out, but he's kind of just, well, maybe because I've never left London before. Like he's just trying to rationalize it in any way he can. And it definitely goes more into it with the book, but I think the movie does enough to kind of let you know how these people are feeling, even though we don't go super into depth of why and all that kind of stuff.
So Dracula welcomes him to the castle, and he insists eventually that Jonathan stays with him for a full month, which that was never the deal. That was not supposed to happen.
Right. And things all switch up when Dracula sees a picture of Jonathan's wife, Mina, played by Winona Ryder, and she looks exactly like Dracula's older wife. And so that kind of gets Dracula like, okay, I might need to use this fella to go steal his girl. And so he extends his stay so he's able to then fully drive Jonathan mad. That's kind of like the plan. So then get him out of the way so we can go and live a happy life with Jonathan's wife, Mina,
his fiance.
But his fiance.
Yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
My question for you here is, what do you think of Count Dracula's look here?
Okay.
This kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little goofy.
It's a little bit goofy to me, the way the hair is done in like these
Yeah.
giant buns on either side. And it does look a little odd to me. Yeah. I didn't care for the look so much.
Like, it's kind of cool because like you can see like his fingers, they're like all long and he's got these long nails and he looks a little decrepit, but then he has this hair. It literally makes him look like a heart. Like his face just looks like a heart, and then he has this long ass braid down his back. It's a little bit goofy. Luckily, we've got an incredible actor here to somehow not really make it that goofy, even though he looks goofy. It's played so damn well that you don't really mind, but you do see Dracula get really offended at Jonathan when he's discussing his lineage, because Jonathan sees a picture and it looks awfully like Dracula, so he's like, oh, that's like you're an ancestor. So he gives him like the rundown of the history, and Jonathan kind of just like at the end of it kind of laughs a little bit because he's very awkward, and Drac doesn't really care for that. So you see this moment of Dracula kind of having an outburst, and I think that's like the movie's way of showing how in the book you get this sense of just how powerful Dracula is and how totally fucked Jonathan is. And I think this is just a way of showing that, as opposed to in the book you're able to just read it and know. It's a lot harder to kind of convey that visually. So that's kind of what I'm thinking they're doing here, and it works out. I think it's a great little scene.
Yeah. So we kind of jump around between London and the castle. So back in London, we meet Lucy, who is played by Sadie Frost. This is Mina's best friend, and she's a total flirt. Definitely knows how to work the gentleman and push their buttons. And she has 3 different suitors that are after her hand in marriage, and we'll talk about them. But one of them is Dr. Jack Seward, and he is played by Richard E. Grant. Again, we've talked about him. He was in Death of a Unicorn. He's been in so many things, just one of my favorite actors. And he's great in this. And he works at the insane asylum where Renfield is. And so he walks in and he's interviewing him. And I have to say, this is not a place that I would want to spend any time as a patient or anything else.
Oh God, no.
It's just bad conditions. So that's kind of where we are now set. And he's interviewing him, and Renfield is eating flies, of course, right?
Yep, naturally.
Gotta love that. And he's also talking about the master, referring to Dracula, who has promised to make him immortal. And he attacks Seward, and it's kind of an interesting scene. Tom Waits is just creepy as hell in this movie. I mean, I don't think they could have cast anyone better in this role.
Nah, he's great as just being this unhinged, like very devoted follower guy that he's in a little deep and probably would do good to step away from the situation, but he can't because he's under Dracula's spell-esque thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So back at the castle, Jonathan cuts himself shaving, and Dracula sees that and takes the razor blade from him, and he licks the blood from it. Fun fact, Gary Oldman was actually drunk during this scene, and they filmed it at midnight to give it more authenticity. But the fact that he'd been drinking all night, I mean, that's just fantastic. And then he starts shaving Jonathan more. And it's like, I don't think I would allow, and these are straight razors, obviously. We're, late 1800s here. So, kind of crazy. And the wolves are baying, and Dracula refers to that as his music. And a lot of things are happening here, including a scene where Dracula is like crawling down the side of the castle.
And that's where Jonathan already knows he's kind of screwed, but that's when he really knows he's screwed, because he looks out the window after Dracula forcefully shaved him, and Dracula's just crawling down the walls, and he's like, okay, I don't think that guy's a human. I think there might be something else going on here?
Yep.
And he also stumbles upon 3 women, known as Dracula's brides, and they like seduce him, and they end up.
Oh,
I, I think they suck his blood here, right before Dracula pops in and gets really pissed that they're uh, entertaining Keanu Reeves.
This is like a super erotic scene
Yeah,
too. I
dude,
mean,
this movie is horny as hell. Like, this is a
yeah,
very horny movie.
it really is. And then he pulls an infant out of thin air and sacrifices it to the 3 brides, which
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what just happened here? Okay, sure.
And this is something that they definitely went into more with the books, where like the
Mhm.
villagers would like fear for their like children being stolen. And yeah, Dracula all the time would just go and steal babies, people, whatever. And that's how he's like, keeping himself alive and his 3 random brides.
Right, right.
But yeah, Jonathan sees this, and this is actually a really good shot of Jonathan, where he just, it's kind of like this crazy shot on him, and he's like losing his mind watching this. Like, he's officially snapping, which, I mean, it's hard to blame him. Like, he's been
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
in this castle, nothing feels real. It's kind of this permanent
Mhm.
like daydream feel to life for him. And yeah, homie is not well.
No, not at all. In the meantime, the Count takes off and journeys to England, and with him, he's got boxes of native soil, which he needs to
Mm-hmm.
stay alive. And he's going there to establish, residence at Carfax Abbey. And he's aboard the Demeter sailing vessel. And the crew of the ship, and they're in this horrible, horrible storm.
Yeah.
And the crew of the ship believes somebody is on board with them because they start to disappear. Because, I mean, after all, Dracula got to eat, right?
Right.
So,
And you
and
kind of see him in this like cocoon almost thing, where it's like,
oh,
you can
yeah.
tell he's being reborn, because he's eating more than he's probably eaten in decades, which is why he looks
Mhm.
so rough and old. And
Right.
so yeah, there's definitely going to be a change of appearance for Dracula, and it's because he's getting so much substance. But yeah, he's just going through the crew of the Demeter, and there's actually a separate movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, of this exact little story that's so well done.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
cool to
it
see.
would have been fun to see more of it in here, but again, this movie's already 2 hours long, so I mean, let's focus on the bigger things, not the ship. But yeah, that other movie, we should do that movie sometime too. It's a pretty fascinating look at it. There is one crewman. We don't actually see the kill, but we do see the blood splatter go up the sail of the ship or something. So just to kind of give us the idea that, yeah, he is feeding on the crew members here. And that is the first kill we've had so far, other than the opening sequence. So that is kill number 6.
So yeah, however many people on that boat, boom, that's how many deaths we got right here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we only see the one, so that's kill 6. But yeah, I mean, good enough.
Just know there's a whole boat.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely a whole boat.
And if you want to watch that story, there's that separate movie, Last Voyage of the Demeter. So
That's right. That's right.
And
So
so yeah, the
Dracula-
boat arrives in London, and Dracula exits it. And in the book, he exits it in the form of a dog. And they kind of show that here when he lures Lucy out of her house and seduces her in like the garden, I guess, on a bench. And he's in this form that's kind of like a werewolf-ish thing, and he's like having sex with her, and
having
he's
sex with her, yeah.
having sex with her and sucking her blood. And it's a crazy looking scene. And I kind of like that they gave him this interesting form. I don't totally understand it. I mean, in the books, it can become a dog, but it's not a man dog. It's just a dog.
It's not a man dog.
It's not a man dog. But here we get a man dog, and I'm okay with it because it looks cool. Like, this is a really cool, like, monsterish form for him. So I'm down with it, but it does make the scene of him having sex with this lady a little bit weirder.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it really does. And it's kind of a funky looking costume too. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, it's odd. The whole thing just looks kind of odd,
Yeah,
but
a little peculiar, but
yeah.
but we're here for it. You're like, as you're watching it, you're like, okay, interesting choice, but we're
Mhm.
vibing here.
So she's definitely got the vampire bug now, and she is, obviously very ill. And now she's getting medical attention from her fiance, Arthur Holmwood, played by Cary Elwes, who I
Yes.
love. He's
He's
just
so
a
good in this
fantastic
movie.
actor. Yeah.
All three of the men vying for Lucy's love are really good.
Yep.
And you end up liking them all, and they somehow end up all liking each other too. Like, it's this
They
really
do.
cool thing where they're like a team, and even though
Yes.
they're kind of fighting over the same girl, they never let it turn them against each other. And I think that's just a beautiful thing.
So the third guy is Quincy Morris, played by Billy
Mhm.
Campbell. So you've got Jack Seward, Quincy Morris, and Arthur Holmwood. And Seward, none of them can figure out what is wrong with Lucy. So Seward calls upon his mentor, Professor Abraham van Helsing, played by Anthony Hopkins,
Yep.
who immediately recognizes that, oh yeah, this is vampirism. You guys are screwed.
God, you dumb fucks. This is clearly a vampire bite.
Yeah, what the hell are you looking for? It's right here. And there was a scene. So when he was having, when man dog or man wolf was having sex with Lucy, he goes down to bite her in the neck. And if you look very closely, if you pause it right before he gets to her neck, those puncture wounds are already there.
Mm.
Little continuity problem, but
Yeah.
that's okay. But
It's okay. We'll look past it. But
yeah.
you do see this other scene. Actually, I think Dracula actually meets Mina before this, where he revisits her again.
He kind of stalks her in the streets of London a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so he meets Mina, and he's looking young and fresh, got a nice little top hat, clean face, little nice goatee-ish thing going on now. And he's kind of talking to her, and he's asking like, oh, why don't you have like a man escorting you like around? Because those were the times you need a man to walk around town. And initially, like, she thinks like, kind of like, fuck you, dude. And then she's, nah, I feel bad. Lets him walk her home. And he then they go to this, what is it, like a circus play thing?
Yeah, it's kind of a circus, live theater like type show type thing
On the street. Yeah, it's in a tent, and they're kind of talking, and he's using his mind powers to kind of get her loosened up to bite, and he's like showing her like the imagery on the walls. He's making it so that she sees it as like pornography. He's doing all these like weird mind trick things with her in order to seduce her so he can bite her. And then just as he's about to, this white dog shows up. It looks more like a wolf and kind of distracts the situation, and she's able to snap out of the spell and runs away, all while he's kind of like just looking at her everywhere she goes. And then they meet up again, and he's like, the dog is cool now. This dog kind of confused me. So because now the dog's on his side, it seems like, even though originally
wolf, it is a wolf, and it escaped from the zoo the night that the ship arrived during that storm.
Right. And so now it's his pet, and she's charmed by the pet wolf, and they're able to kind of get back to, you know what, hey, everything's fine. And does not turn her, even though that was his original plan. But he does leave the evening after dropping her off, excited with the progress that he's made. So even though he didn't turn her, he's still like, things are okay. We can slow things down. We got all the time. Your fiance is going crazy in my castle. Like, no rush here.
So speaking, we got to go back to Jonathan, because we
the
cut back
brides are
to
just
a scene. Oh, fuck. They're like
Dude.
draining him of his blood,
Yeah.
all three of them.
So how this works is they'll all gather, and I think they bang him and drink all of his blood, and then he kind of just recoups for a while.
Yeah.
And that's how they keep him subdued and a prisoner. So anytime he starts to get his strength up, they show up, bang him, drain all his blood. But Jonathan knows this. He's recognized the pattern, and he's now has this idea. He's like, okay, I'm going to get my strength back and then jump into the river from my window, and that's my one hope of escape. We'll see if it kills me, but it's all I got. So that's his big brave plan.
Yeah, and it works because he does get away. Yeah.
He's able to successfully not die in the water,
right,
and floats down to this random village, and they kind of start to
convent. Yeah, these
convent,
nuns find him
and nurse him back to health. So that's where he's at the moment.
So he actually reunites with Mina in Romania, where they marry. And very interesting story about this scene, because they shot it. They shot the entire ceremony at a Greek Orthodox church in Los Angeles with a real Romanian Orthodox priest. And Francis Ford Coppola realized that it was possible they had actually really been married, not in a legal sense, but in the eyes of God. And Reeves has stated that he often gets texts from Winona Ryder saying, quote, "Hello, husband." And they're both totally fine with it. So,
I mean, technically, anytime you're in a wedding scene, like, it is the ceremony. So I guess you could totally,
and it was a real priest, a real Romanian priest. So
right on.
That's surprise, cool. Kids.
Yeah. We're married.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Lucy ends up succumbing to her injuries, but we're going to call that kill 7, but she does come back as a vampire.
And it's long, and it's a long, this isn't a quick turn. Like, this is months of suffering, and all her loved ones just trying to figure out what's going on. And Dracula visits her multiple times, and continues to feast on her, and it just amplifies how quick it's going. But I like how slow and damaging this turn is, and you can see just how it affects everyone in her life. It's not pretty. It sucks, and you feel bad for everybody involved.
You do. In London, Jonathan is in a carriage, and he sees Dracula for the first time, but now it's the young version he's seeing that everybody else has been seeing. And he's like,
wait a
God,
second,
he's
hot
younger.
now.
What the hell? Yeah.
He doesn't have the stupid hair anymore.
So Van Helsing and Lucy's suitors confront and destroy Lucy's undead form.
This is so cool.
She vomits blood all over Van Helsing. Arthur drives a stake through her heart, and then her head is chopped off. And for kill 8. And then Dracula wakes up in his dirt in a complete twisted rage.
Right. This scene is so cool. Lucy looks so badass as a vampire. She's in all white with this giant Victorian collar, pale face, red lips. She looks so cool. And when they catch her, she's coming back to her grave carrying a baby that she's gonna feast on. It's kind of crazy. But no, this whole scene is so rad, and I hate to use the word beautiful, especially with the subject matter, but it's kind of beautiful. Yeah, it totally
is. Yeah. So Jonathan now joins Van Helsing and the others in hunting Dracula. They destroy his boxes of Transylvanian soil, which weakens him, and Dracula retaliates by killing Renfield. So
I love how that was retaliation. They're like,
yeah,
okay.
I know.
No, our best friend Renfield is now dead.
He had also tried to previously warn Mina about everything that was going on towards the end here, but Renfield's death is pretty cool. He is invisibly slammed against the bars of his caged in room at the insane asylum, and it was bam and bam, and then so it was a pretty violent, traumatic death.
It was, and I love how much of the random book lore they use, because Dracula can turn into smoke, and in this scene there's like smoke like in like the room, so I think they are showing that he's there in just one of his many forms he's able to take, because in the book Dracula he has many forms he can take, from smoke
Right.
to bat to dog, human, old human, young, like he's a shapeshifter, and they
Sure.
really they show that in this movie really well.
I think so too. Yeah. So Dracula then visits Mina, confesses his love and his crimes, and she's
Right.
pretty freaked out, pretty horrified, but she admits that she feels a powerful connection to him. And now she recalls her past life as Elizabeta, which I found interesting, but
Right.
she does.
So now she's getting those memories from when she, was alive back in the day.
Right.
And I think just how they really illustrate Dracula's mind tricks in this movie well, because you can just see that internal battle with Mina, where she's like, she doesn't love this, like really love this dude. She loves Jonathan, but
Yeah.
it's this impossible thing for her to kind of break away from. Her, it's not an attraction, but it's kind of an attraction. It's a mental attraction to Dracula, and they really
Yeah.
play that up well.
Right. So at her insistence, Dracula begins turning her into a vampire, and they're interrupted by the hunters, forcing him
Right.
to flee. Some really cool effects in this scene. For
Yeah.
example, when Dracula is shot, his eyes light up red, look
Mhm.
really freaking cool. And just some other things that happen in this scene that, yeah, I was like, damn.
Well, he's in this, his form here is this like demonic human bat hybrid thing. Like he looks
Mhm.
cool. Like he's a straight up monster
Yeah.
here. And it's so rad. This is one of my favorite like depictions of Dracula in this moment, this bat form. It's so cool, because it's not just like the little bat that you see flying around in some like the older movies or like Scooby-Doo cartoons. Like, no, homie's like a bat hybrid monster, and it's so
Right.
rad. It's so rad.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. Very well done. So he flees. He's out of there. Van Helsing taps into Mina's psychic link to
Yes.
Dracula, and which is really cool, and learns that he's headed back to Transylvania. So they start to pursue him. They split off into a couple of different groups. Van Helsing takes Mina toward the castle. The others chase the Romanian caravan that is actually transporting Dracula's coffin.
Right. And again, it's like this team of people, they started off as a love rectangle with Lucy, and now they're just this vampire hunting crew along with Van
Yeah.
Helsing. It's so dope.
God. Yeah.
Because I think that's
mean,
easy to forget, was like where we met all these guys is they were all
Right.
trying to get Lucy, and now they're a part of this vampire hunting team. Like, it's just so cool. And yeah, so they're
Yes.
split up and they're tapping into this cool mental connection now that Mina has with Dracula. And this is where it kind of goes off the rails a little bit, but in a fun way. Like, it doesn't go off completely because there's this mental connection. Like, it's kind of crazy, but
Yeah.
it's done so well that it doesn't feel crazy or like it's jumping the shark or anything like that.
Sure.
Yeah, which I think it would
Exactly.
be easy to make it feel cheesy, but they don't here. It all
Right.
somehow works.
Yep. At the Borgo Pass, Van Helsing confronts and destroys Dracula's brides. 3 kills right there. And as sunset approaches, the hunters intercept the carriage, and there's this really cool battle scene. Unfortunately, Quincy Morris is fatally wounded.
Yeah.
But then Jonathan actually slashes Dracula's throat while Morris drives a knife into his heart, and the Count collapses.
And Dracula again kind of looks cool here. He's not like he's in between like more of humanoid and monster, but he still has this kind of crazy look to him.
Yeah.
And this scene is so cool. Yeah, it's all in the snow, so like the blood looks so vibrant in these moments. Again, hate to see it, but I hate to say it, but it's another beautiful scene. Just how it's shot, it's so cool.
Oh yeah,
I think the blood in this movie looks really cool. Like it's a very vivid, like the coloring that they used is so cool.
So they use red jelly for the blood in
Yeah.
this entire film, and it looks so freaking good.
Like it doesn't look
So, yeah.
real, but
Mhm.
it's just it's vivid and it's cool.
It serves its purpose well.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah.
Which again is why I say it feels like a stage, because like everything is so exaggerated. Like on a stage, like blood would have to be this crazy color so it stands out and you can see it from way back
Right.
in like the theater. So I just love how over the top and just stage show this whole movie feels.
Yeah. Nope. Agreed. Mina drags him into the ruined chapel where his curse began. Inside the chapel, Dracula now reverts to his younger self. Mina, she's overcome with love and compassion and grants him peace by plunging a blade into his heart. And as he dies, the mark of vampirism fades from her forehead because she had this mark.
Mm-hmm.
Then she decapitates him, which it's like, wow, okay.
We were very loving there for a second.
For a second, yeah, exactly.
Just kidding, cut off his fucking head.
Gives him peace, and
Yeah,
overhead,
I mean, hey.
A fresco depicts Vlad and Elizabeta ascending together, finally reunited beyond death, and that brings us to the close of the movie. So, yeah,
It's kind of funny because it almost feels like, oh yeah, all that evil he did, no harm, no foul. Like everything's
Right.
cool now.
Yeah, I know.
All that pain and suffering he caused to the innocent babies and people of the who cares? We're all cool here now.
Yeah, we're all cool now.
Everything's
It's all good.
forgiven. Love wins.
That's right. Final kill count was 14, a goodly amount that we know of. I mean,
right.
It was hundreds, I'm sure, if you count the battle at the beginning and the ship and everything else. My favorite character, I think, was Renfield, to be honest.
Interesting. I kind of love that choice. It's tough. There's the strength of the book and this movie is the characters. I think they're all so incredibly strong, even the minor ones, that you can't help but just fall in love with them. But I think it's between the three, and I'd lump them all together. The three suitors for Lucy, or I'm just gonna go Dracula. And I think I'm just gonna go Dracula. I have to. I mean, it's what really made the vampire story is this original depiction of him in this novel, and everything we know about him coming after it's all set from right here. So I'm gonna go with Dracula.
Favorite kill, I would say for me, was Lucy's second kill as the vampire. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, that's. I think I'm going to go that for my favorite death, and I think I'm also going to go for it for my favorite scene. I love that scene.
Okay.
It's so cool. There's so many to choose from. Like,
oh my God.
From just like cool effects in that tiny moment. Because there's a moment when Dracula's first walking around in his young form where there's this, because he's not able to see his own reflection, and so he's walking by this giant like wall of like a glass window, and they depict him as just his like hat and stuff, and it's all done on camera. So like that scene's really cool, but it's hard to pick a favorite scene. But I'm gonna go with Lucy's death as
This was really hard for me to figure out too what I wanted to pick, and I'm actually going with the final scene, Dracula's death, just because there is a sweet moment there, and then after he's dead, the mural above them showing their love in the afterlife. I mean, I thought that was a really cool way to go out with this movie. So I think that was my favorite scene.
Fair. It's cool. I love that scene as well. There's so many though.
How screwed are we?
I mean, like if I'm just a random person, like in like even like that village, Dracula might just scoop me up whenever he pleases. So like, it's hard for me to say I would survive just because it's basically evil incarnate that you're fighting against. Right. He may as well be a demon. Like, I'd say I'd probably be pretty screwed.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't be lusting after me, so I wouldn't have that angle I'd be able to like work with. So
Sure.
yeah, I think I'm fucked.
Me too. No doubt about it. I'm screwed. I'm probably done at the Blue Flame in this movie, to be honest.
Right.
I think the wolves would have gotten me. I drop me off in the middle of nowhere. No, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not living through that.
Nope. We do have a final girl in Mina.
Yeah.
I'd give her an 8.
It's like, is she like a traditional final girl? No, but like so I'm not gonna give her like a 9 or a 10, but I think she's a solid 8. Like she's great in this story.
Yeah.
It's just not the formulaic final girl that we're used to nowadays.
Right.
It's the final girl of like the 1700s or whenever this book was written.
Right. Late 1800s. Yeah.
Yeah.
1800s. So exactly. Exactly. Star grade for me, a rare 5 stars on this movie.
Yeah, I'll go 5 stars with it as well. Just everything about it's cool. Yeah, the effects, the acting, the costumes, it's all just beautiful and perfect.
Slasher survival tip. If he owns multiple properties, travels with dirt, and never ages, that's not romance. That's a red flag.
Yep.
So watch yourself.
I love that, especially just like the owning 10 plus properties. Hey, red flag instantly. That's not a good person. We're in the middle of a housing crisis, damn it.
That's right. Oh, it did raise some red flags with folks. I know with Jonathan Harker wanting to know why he needed so many properties and everything that was going on there. But, yeah.
All right.
So coming up, your scare preview. First, shout out to our friend Courtney from the Jaunty Haunts podcast, who I just talked to this week. She is back in podcasting mode, getting ready to kick off some new episodes. And the first thing she asked me, Michael, is if you and I would be willing to come on as guests on one of her first episodes. I said, we don't even have to think about it. So I spoke for you.
Okay, well, that's okay, because that would have been my answer. So I'm going to be okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with it in this instance.
And she's going to be back with us here in the near future as well. But Courtney kept a secret for 30 years, and that was she can see ghosts. And so now she's telling her story with the help of intriguing guests who join her, fascinating stories of the paranormal, and real-life adventures that she has been on.
Yeah, if you love paranormal, you love haunted stories, ghosts, schools, all of the above, Courtney's show, Jaunty Haunts, is the one for you. So check that out anywhere that you get your podcasts.
The Scare Preview.
Scare preview. Mine is a movie coming out here very soon called Crazy Old Lady. This is a Spanish film. I know. It's a Spanish film directed by Martin Maragui, written by the same man, stars Carmen Mara and Daniel Hindler. It's about a man who is asked by his ex-girlfriend to care temporarily for her senile mother, Alicia, but Alicia won't let him leave, turning a simple task into a nightmare he must escape. Comes out on Shudder, February 27th. This thing looks insane. If you watch the trailer, take the film Misery and crank it up about 10 notches on the gore dial, and that's what this is. I mean, this is like a fucking torture snuff type film. I mean, looks pretty hardcore, and it's gotten some pretty good praise from the different film festivals it's been to.
Okay, I'm sold.
Yeah, Crazy Old Lady.
It had me at the title, honestly. Like that's such a good title. Yeah, my scare preview doesn't have nearly the grab you title as that, but it's called Obsession, and it is from director Curry Barker. And Curry Barker, I've seen a lot of his short films. He's done a lot of like short horror films on YouTube. He started as like a comedian like on YouTube, and this is his theatrical debut. Obsession follows a mysterious one-wish willow that this man uses to win his crush's heart. Unfortunately, not good things come from this wish, and it looks like it gets very dark, kind of shows the darkness that is obsession and not love. It looks very, very creepy. This one's coming out on May 15th. So a little bit further out, but I'm excited just because all the short movies that I've seen from Curry Barker are legitimately creepy, and just his way of viewing things through the camera is very, very unique. So I can't wait to see what he does with a whole theatrical movie.
Okay. Sounds interesting. That is it for this episode of Opening Kill. Coming up next week, oh boy, we have a classic for you. It is 1972's Frogs.
Oh boy.
This was Sam Elliott's feature film debut. That iconic mustache you know him for doesn't have it. I mean, it's like, oh my God, he's so young. And this is the movie he chose to jump into. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to break into it. I mean,
where it all began for him. I can't wait. I've heard nothing but bad things about this. So.
Now, you have not seen it yet, right?
I have not.
Okay.
I've been waiting.
Okay. I cannot wait for this episode. Yeah, this will be fun. This will be fun.
I wonder how many listeners have actually seen it. Probably not many. So they also have homework.
So subscribe to us on all the socials. We're on Instagram and Facebook, and hey, we're on YouTube too.
That's right. You can check out the video version or just the audio version right there on YouTube if you want. So be sure to subscribe there, and also subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. We're all there. Subscribe. And if you want to recommend a movie or you have a comment, concern, go ahead and drop us an email at openingkillpod@gmail.com.
Very cool. All right, Michael, good to see you as always. And yeah, we'll chat again in a week.
Yeah, we'll get all amphibian-like with frogs. I can't wait.
All right, we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Opening Kill is produced by Mystic Cloud Productions and hosted by Brian O'Connor and Michael Duran. New episodes drop every Thursday wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget, you can watch the video versions on YouTube. See you next time, if you survive.